So the great thing about Upbeat was it was a real co-production project. So it was built alongside some of our peer supporters. Pete and Corrine were two of them. Also people from our Wellbeing Centre team and myself, and I work on the comms team. So I'll start by asking you, Pete, what is it to be a peer supporter at PSS? Can you tell us a bit about your role?
Yeah, I started as peer support about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's because I've been helped by the centre and the staff at the Wellbeing Centre that I feel like by giving something back, I'm sort of helping other people who've been in the same position as myself, and I'm also helping myself at the same time. So working alongside staff, to deliver the courses, the core courses that we do at the Wellbeing Centres and other courses is very fulfilling and raises my self-esteem, and it's a way I know that I'm contributing.
Is that how you feel as well, Corrine? Can you tell us a bit about your...
Yeah. I mean, I was PSS practically they did save my life when I first came along, and it was just with gentle persuasion and the encouragement that I decided after a couple of years that they'd given me so much, I had to put something back in again. But during the lockdown, we've had this Upbeat, and I just think that's been really marvellous, and I'm just hoping it will continue, because it's really, it's great for people that don't know the service, so they can get a sort of a taste of what goes on. And sometimes when you walk through a door or somewhere, you're really, really nervous, and it's hard. It's about, at least on Zoom or whatever you're using, you get to see other people, get to meet them, and then you'll feel a bit more safer and more likely to go in to the centres. And it's also kept a lot of people, and there's a lot of people I know that have been isolated, can't go out, and there's poetry on there, there's vlogs, there's photographs, there's relaxations, courses, and it's just a whole wide range of things. The staff give 250%, I think, in the PSS. They're marvellous.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head there. It really was something that we desperately needed during the pandemic, wasn't it? But we're hoping that now it's really opened up our sort of support offer. So we've got digital tools there as well, which is brilliant, isn't it? So for me, personally, this was something that was just totally different. It was a totally new way of working. Generally, we get given a communications brief and we take that away and we reflect on it and we come back with sort of our sort of packaged way of hitting the objectives. And we've got a good idea of sort of the process behind that and how it's going to work and what it's going to look like, and that comfortability. But with co-production, with Upbeat, I think you have to completely let go of that self-control that you have, because not only do you not know how you're going to get to the end goal, you don't even know what the end goal is going to be, do you? So I personally felt quite a lot of pressure, because it was something completely different, and it didn't always go to plan, and it wasn't how we've done things before. So it was a challenge, and I also knew that I was working with people that were so passionate about creating something that was really valuable for people with mental health challenges. So I think sometimes when you're working with people that are so passionate, you can be afraid to maybe say the wrong things. But actually, it's only when we say the wrong things that we can kind of be challenged on it and get them right, isn't it? So normally, if you're not involving the people we support from the very start, you could be missing something that's intrinsically wrong at those really early stages. But what we did is we worked together from the start. So that's brilliant. And we've built a really solid foundation now to work together in the future. I'm just going to ask you, Pete, what did you like about the process, and how did it sort of work for you, and what worked?
As you say, Siobhan, it was a challenge, and it's something I haven't ever done before. Coming together to create something as we have done at Upbeat Liverpool. And I found the process, like, because each time we met, we would bring our own ideas and we'd exchange those ideas, and to get everyone's perspective on how the blog should go as we were going forward it and developing it. And in the end, the whole process as a new experience, I found really enjoyable, because it makes you sort of, take a step back and then look at the thing from another person's point of view, or any of the visitors who come to the website now, what they expect to find and the help that's there, and the whole thing, the whole setup. We've created this brilliant resource for the city and the people throughout the pandemic, and also going forward with it. It'll always be there, and we'll always be adding to it. And I just found the whole thing a great experience to be part of the group, and us, the staff and the comms team as well. Yourself, you were inspirational, really, because you brought the ideas, and without you, I don't think but without you or without the comms team having their part to play in it, everybody had a part to play, and we achieved what is a brilliant website.
Yeah, well, I'll take that back to you guys, because obviously we couldn't have done it without you. And I think that was the great thing about Upbeat, is we had people with such different expertise to offer and such different passions, who come at it from completely different perspectives. So I know for you, Corrine, it was about, you wanted a platform where you could share your cultural sessions in a really engaging way. And for you, Pete, you were really indispensable in giving us ideas on the user experience, because you've got a lot of tech knowledge, that it wasn't just about what we wanted the site to look like. I didn't come in with a preconceived idea of, we can have option A or option B. It was very much built together, and it was very much more about how the site should make you feel, and not just what it should look like. It wasn't just sort of ticking a box. So that, I feel like that's a big part of co-production. It's actually involving you rather than you being consulted on something. So is that how you felt, Corrine? And is there something about co-production that you think's, well, basically, is there something that sums up co-production to you?
It was a completely new experience for me, and I felt really privileged being invited along, to be honest, to have my say. And I thought it was absolutely marvellous when we went along to the building the Upbeat, that you're all very knowledgeable about all this sort of stuff yourself and the comms team, and you were just asking me as an ordinary person. I just felt like part of it, and it was really, really encouraging. It made me feel like we've got a voice, we've got views, and you respected our views. So I think working together, you still know a lot more than us, obviously, but you're taking into consideration how we feel. And I think that's so important for people to feel like they belong.
Yeah. I'll start by saying I definitely don't know a lot more than you. Because obviously you've got, first-hand experience of what the people who are accessing this website have been through, or similar things to what these people have been through. But what's great is we didn't just define you by that shared experience. It was more about you as an individual, which I think's really brilliant. So yeah, I think we've ended up with something that, even though there were challenges and hurdles along the way, I mean, for example, the site didn't always do everything that we wanted it to do, did it? There's always going to be some technical gremlins along the way, I think. But everyone was part of every single decision process. So they can therefore see why we've come to that end point. And you're able to take ownership of it more. And that's what it is now. The keys have basically been handed over to you. I'm there to support you if you need the support. But it's very much just going to be something that's owned by you now, and continues to grow and develop. So that's the great thing, isn't it? It's never sort of over with co-production. It's a bit more of a culture shift than just project done, tick a box. It's kind of how we're going to continue to work together in the future. And it's now being used as an example of co-production across PSS, which is brilliant. We can all take pride in that, can't we? But also across the sector as well. So we went along to an event about the One Liverpool plan recently, didn't we? And that was a room full of sort of social care leaders and council leaders. So some really influential people in the room. And we presented on a panel with other people from PSS alongside Leslie, our chief exec. So I think that was a great opportunity to really show off the co-production model that we'd created. How did it feel for you guys?
I felt really good, actually, to be honest. I was a bit nervous to start with, but I think when we sat there and I thought, this is the chance for someone like me to say how I feel about the service and be included and try and get other people connected. And I really enjoyed it. I thought the whole event was good. Everyone spoke brilliantly. And I think that we should all be proud of ourselves.
Definitely. What about you, Pete?
I think I was nervous, but because we didn't really know what to expect, really. Suddenly, applauded going onto the stage and then sitting down like that by these room full of professionals, as you said, Siobhan. And I think Leslie has a way of relaxing. She does that little pep talk, and we have that way of relaxing. So we're able to get our, what we think about co-production across to people. And we were like, because of the Upbeat blog, Upbeat Liverpool blog, we had something there to give to those people, and we could tell them about it. And the people that they help or the people that they support can go and use that resource now. And the whole experience, I just found it really uplifting as well at the same time, because, as you say, these are professionals and we're like people with lived experience of mental health, and they really listened to us. It wasn't just a case of we were just there because we were part of the decoration or anything. We were there and we talked about our experience, and it was just a conversation with those people. And I'm still quite buzzing back with it, even now 3 weeks later. So yeah, I think a wonderful experience, having a great opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's just brilliant. And yeah, I think all of us felt buzzing afterwards, didn't we? Because it's just nice to see that something that you've put hard work into is really going to support people. And that's what this was all about. So obviously it's a tool that lots of people can access, whether they use the Wellbeing Centres or not. And you've helped to shape that and be a part of building that, and we'll continue to do that in the future. So how good's that?
I just thought it was marvellous being listened to and having my views taken into account. And as Pete said, when we were on that stage and we were talking, and I looked at the people and they were all looking at us and taking it all in, and just felt that was fantastic. They weren't just sort of, oh, well, it's them. I thought it was really, really lovely. So
I would encourage anybody thinking of going along the same route that we've taken to just go for it, because you might have an idea, but you might think if you think you might there might be other people, and it's just a case of you may need to do a bit of networking, obviously, and your idea might might just lift off and people come together and create it like we have done, so I would just support anybody, encourage them to do so the same as we've done.
Might take a little bit longer to get there, mightn't it? But I think what you sort of end up with in the end is something that's going to last. So it's worth it. It's worth the time, and it's worth the obstacles along the way.